Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hater plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom.
What is up? It's Friday. It's Phil. It's Friday Fill In. I'm just getting comfy here. Got a jungle behind me. I think we've added a few plants since I last looked at that ledge, but we are definitely plant people, and I hope you had an awesome week this week as a teacher and coach. I'm almost out. School's almost out forever. Well, not forever, but for summer. I got 4 more days next week. Happy Memorial Day this weekend, a long 3-day weekend for most. If you're traveling, safe travels. If you're chilling like me, well, shoot, I hope your chilling is also safe. Got a few things on my mind. As always, I feel like this is a great time just to like rapid fire things. We're going to talk for about 30 minutes. If you want to come through, throw any comments, questions, haikus, jokes, or anything in between, please feel free to do that. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. This is going through Board Media Group, as well as myself on X, and then on YouTube and Twitch and Instagram, actually. So if you're not following us on all those places, make sure you do that now. So a couple things that I want to jump into. And the first one is a little talk about ApeCoin DAO. So if you know anything about the DAO, it is, man, I would say it's a touchy subject actually, because there is a lot of really cool things happening there, but there's also some stuff that maybe people aren't so super happy about, myself included. And so let's just take a look here as we talk about the ApeCoin DAO. Let's see if we can get it pulled up here. Struggle bus on a Friday. So it is election season, and so a bunch of folks put their names out for basically there's a few different roles that are available. But before we get into that, if you're going to Lisbon, which by the way, NFC Summit is next week, May 28th, 29th, there is a chance to win a pair of custom shoes via the ApeCoin DAO. And shout out to the homies, freshkicks.eth. They do the best freaking shoes in the land for sure. One of ones. Shout out to Jerry there with his awesome shoes as well. And so there's chances to get some potential Ape merch. Shout out to Dim and Sanj. We love Sanj t-shirts here at Board Media Group, and I do specifically. I was very thankful from other pages to hook me up with some of the goods. And then we got, again, ApeCoin, a lot of things happening. If you didn't know yet, we are sponsoring, as an ApeCoin DAO holder myself, the Alpine F1 team. I'll be honest, I don't know anything about F1. I legitimately know nothing. But the thing is, it's a large swing, a large partnership, and I believe it's 3 years long. And the idea is to get more people from the DAO to be able to go interact at F1, go take a look, check it out. But then at the simplest form, getting ApeCoin, obviously the logo, etc., on the car and in and potentially buy eyeballs. So there's that, which is exciting. And again, ApeCoin DAO elections, nominees, and candidates. And we're going to go ahead really quick. We're going to go through some candidates. So the special counsel, there is 2 seats available. And so Captain Trippy is not coming back for a second time. So tip of the cap to you, Captain. Appreciate you and all you've done. But the other one that was up is Wabam, who Wabam is going for another term here for the special counsel nominee. These are a 1-year term. This one starts in July. So it's really right around the corner. Maybe seems like it's early in this conversation, but the reality is, man, you're going to hear a lot from all of these people. So some of these people might be familiar to you. Some may not be so familiar to you. And so there's your list of special counsel nominees. We've got, looks like a total of 10, which is great. And that's for 2 seats. Some of them have been there before. Some of them have run before. And I would say all of them have been relatively involved in the DAO. So shout out to those homies going for special counsel. Then we have the governance working group steward. And I believe this is for 1 spot. All City is running once again to keep that spot. And then you have Crypto Kev, Desmart, and Crypto Sheep. So that's for one position. Again, this is Governance Working Group Steward. Also, if you haven't checked it out, check out ApeCoin GWG. That is the working group there, commentary. It'll just help you basically stay up to date with information. And so you can read a lot more on the forum. I'm doing a very quick run by because this is just a fill in, right? This isn't a massive breaking news. This is a Friday fill in. Play on words, of course. Marketing and Comms Working Group Steward nominees. This is again starts in July. And this is for one more person. And some of my favorite people actually in this one too. So shout out to them. A lot of these people have been around creating amazing content. If you don't know them, you should get to know them. Once again, check out the forum for that. And then last but not least, you got Metaverse Working Group Steward candidate. And there's 4 for this. And this is once again one spot. So, oh, I lied. There's another one. Sorry. Web3 Development Working Group. There's 5 for this one. I believe that's just for one spot. And then once again, shout out to the ApeCoin for getting all of this content. These visuals are crispy, makes it much easier to follow along. So you got community discussion that starts right now, till June 5th. Voting phase 1 for nominees only. That's 6 days from June 6th to the 12th. And then you have voting phase 2 for all candidates, applies to all positions. That first one only applies to special counsel and Marcom's working group steward. That goes to June 16th. So again, ApeCoin, it is something that is powerful, 100%. It is something that, in my personal opinion, I'm hoping we become more creative and take more swings. I am one of those folks that wants, I'm a creative. I mean, look at behind me. I've got guitars. I also got a Peloton. I should probably jump on that after this. But the reality is, I really enjoy creative works. I really like content. Obviously, that's why I'm jumping on a stream on a Friday night to talk a little bit. And I think that there could be some really cool things, and there have been some cool things done in that vein. And I'd love to see the DAO continue to push those things forward. Of course, there is a gamut of things that we should be doing, and we should be doing all of it. It's supposed to be the token of culture. Okay, so the coin of culture, if you will. Well, what's culture to you? It can be many things, but when I think about it is, why not focus on making really, really cool, great, top of the line and fun things with these AIPs that push the space forward, and in turn make it more fun to hold ApeCoin. And it's not just because price goes up. Yeah, of course we want the price to go. Let's go to freaking $69 for goodness sakes. But the point of the matter is, if you can get people that actually really enjoy holding it because of all these other things that they get to experience and all these things that they get as, services, if you will, that's when you become a real, really tight knit community that wants to continue to hold and not just dump. So not that that's where we're at right now, but I'm excited to see where that goes. The next point of discussion on this Friday fill-in, again, this is rapid fire news for you from the week, from Phil's mind. This is just my opinion. I'm one person. We're going to talk a little bit about CryptoPunks because this past week there was a large discussion on a initiative that the CryptoPunks were doing with this artist in residence or punk in residence collaboration. And before we get into it too much, when they first announced this artist or punk in residence, I was jealous as an ape holder that it wasn't something that the apes were getting. Now, granted, I understood why, because like CryptoPunks is definitely more like, this is, fine art. And it is, and it's historical. All those things are true. But man, I was jealous because I thought it was a super cool idea. Have awesome artists come through, do their own thing. Put out, pieces of work that you can choose to buy or not. It's always your decision, of course. And I really liked what the CryptoPunk team had done as well with the framed piece of all the punks. I have it right over there. And then also the book that just wrapped up sales. I guess that's been about 10 days or so ago. I thought those were 2 really cool things that just looked really well done, very clean, felt good. And then I really was looking forward to these different punk in residence, these artists that were going to come through and do their own thing. And so I was excited to see what Nina Chanel came out with. And of course, maybe not of course, if you didn't know anything about her art, when I saw all of this hit the timeline and people were like trying to dunk on it, I could tell right then that they had absolutely no clue what they were talking about. Because if you know anything about Nina, this is her style. And she is an extremely popular and successful artist in Web 2. And she's been here in Web 3. It's not like she just showed up yesterday. And so the outcry from maybe just I don't know, maybe it wasn't as many people, but it felt like the timeline was just dragging Yuga, dragging Nina, and that sucked. Let's be honest, that sucked. And so this was the announcement. Again, it feels like it was a week ago, but it was really only 4 days ago. Super Punk World is a 500-piece collection that is as playful as it is profound. For our Punk and Resonance collaboration, Nina Chanel has created a hybrid 3D sculptures that blur the lines of race and gender and reflect upon virtual versus real world identities. And so again, you had those, and then here would be the PFPs. And again, if you know anything about our work, this is like, I mean, it's to me an awesome, amazing take on, you know, her eyes of a CryptoPunk or whatever it is with her art style. I thought it was dope, honestly. Just because again, I appreciate artists, you know, putting themselves out there, doing it their style. Was I going to buy one of these? I don't know. It depends on the price, to be quite frank. And so that came out, and then shortly thereafter, we had this update from Garga. Wanted to share an update on punks. When we acquired the collection a couple of years ago, we did so with the intention of preserving the legacy of the collection. We see punks as early cave paintings of this new medium, and we are heavily influenced by them when creating our own spin on what an NFT collection could be with Bored Ape Yacht Club. The team had a vision of collaborating with world-class artists to bridge Web3 with a traditional art world. That's what hooked me. Like, that's where I was jealous, because I thought that was like, I still think it's a really cool freaking idea. Like, really, really cool idea. Nina Chanel is known for graphic large-scale pieces with bold and colorful palettes. Her work is everywhere. MoMA, Whitney, you name it. Matt and John were ecstatic to learn that she would be a CryptoPunks artist in residence, and so was the team. That should matter, I would think. Our plan is to get Nina's latest collection into the hands of those who have been supporting her work in the space by making it available only to Super Cool World holders. Current thinking is via randomized airdrop. What about punks? This is kind of like, I would say, the bigger news. Yuga will no longer touch punks. They will just be decentralized and preserved on the blockchain. The only thing we intend to do is support a few museums and institutions in their quest to acquire a punk and help educate their audience about them. And to me, that's just tough. That's tough. For Yuga specifically. And yeah, do I love Yuga Labs? 100%. Do I love Bored Ape? 100%. But this just felt crappy because it was something that they put a lot of work into. I thought it was an awesome collab, honestly. Now, again, was I going to buy it? I don't know. Depends on price point. Depends on a lot of things. But I loved, and I still love, the idea. I think it was really cool. And people said it was diluting the CryptoPunk collection. That's bull. That's baloney. This is just my opinion. Phil, what do I know? It's a Friday fill-in, for goodness sakes. But it was really honestly frustrating to me to see people thinking that it was going to dilute the collection, and et cetera, et cetera. To me, this was just an artist who is a CryptoPunk holder as well, by the way, giving a new collection. 500 pieces, not that large. And now who knows? I do like that instead they're just going to airdrop them to Super Cool World holders. I think that's really cool. That if you don't know about them, and I'll pull it up here in a second, that's Nina's Web3 collection that came out. It's been a minute. So man, I think that's cool. I think it's unfortunate that people thought this was some money grabby shit from Yuga. I mean, Garga, I heard him last night again. He said basically they're going to make nothing off of this. And so there's just a lot of crap information, and that's just the space in general, and a lot of hot takes. People want to get on the timeline ASAP and spout off whatever their thoughts are. And that's fine, by the way. That's a prerogative, which is cool. But I think sometimes maybe sit down and think for a minute. Cloud says, I get people who just hate on NFTs because, well, they just do. But what I don't get is people fighting their own bags. It's just for views. Yeah, Cloud, I agree. It's very freaking strange. It's very strange. And so I don't know where this goes. Again, that last paragraph there, no longer touch punks. That's pretty definite. And that's pretty that's a lot different than what they've been doing, obviously. Because again, I just want to go back and say the framed work that they did of all the CryptoPunks, then you could get your own if you wanted to. That was freaking awesome. Really clean, looks amazing. The book, really freaking cool. Oh, the documentary series thing they're doing with CryptoPunks, freaking awesome. All that stuff is really cool. Like really cool. Like actually cool. Non-Ponzi. really cool stuff. I like that. I like things like that. And it's not just Yuga doing those things, right? Like there's other projects that are doing really cool things and building shit. I think that matters. And so again, we'll see where that goes. I'm curious to see what happens. Do they really not do anything? I feel bad for the CryptoPunks team that's on Yuga Lab staff because I'm sure they feel like shit too, and that's not very fair. I feel really bad for Nina because the shit that was being said was out of pocket, and so we'll see what happens. I hope they don't just give up on the art residence thing. That'd be cool, even if it's just a Yuga Labs. Maybe they change it from CryptoPunks. Maybe they just simply say it's a Yuga Labs artist in residence. That would be freaking dope. That would be dope. And I would support the shit out of it any way I could. Justin, what's up, my brother? CryptoPunk and residence art showcase equals NBA spotlight. Yeah. Yeah. Again, one other comment I saw was people saying, well, there's a lot of artists here that we could be supporting. They could still do that. It's not like this was the only one that was going to happen. And so, again, we'll see where this goes. We'll see what happens. But for now, it's just kind of a wait and see. Got a little bit more information. And specifically, I wanted to dive into some Garga talk. I should have a freaking theme song for Garga talk. Something. Maybe it's a barking dog since I know he loves his pup. All right. So a little bit again on the punk. We had a back and forth, basically. Frustration, I would say, from punk. This person, I do not know them. And then apparently, oh boy, I muted someone. I don't want to share that. This is what I wanted to share. I asked my team to put together broad feedback from Monday, and those screenshots were included. The reality is that majority of the punks team doesn't even want to work on punks anymore. That's sad. Very sad, actually. Plus, I'm not going to ask any employer world-class artist to walk into another shit show like that. And like I said, I don't think they would anyway. That's also super sad. If the new narrative isn't punks just want to be punks, but rather Garga bad, then okay. And that's, I really appreciate him for saying that because he's taking it on the fucking chin. So no surprise there. He's a freaking goated human. So shout out to Garga for that. Also to look forward to, if you want to make it to the next board meeting, it is the 4th board meeting. It's next Thursday, the 30th at 6 p.m. EST. And they're going to be doing some NBA taste testing, which we love to see that. That was something that was mentioned a few weeks ago, which is dope. As we continue to scroll the timeline, shout out to Zach on the 3D images. This is one of my favorites I've seen thus far. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We've got a picture of Garga's dog and the name Gizmo. If you didn't know, you know now. What's up, Gizmo? Looks like actually I have a family member that had a dog that looked just like that. And then last night, Garga and some other absolute chads, builders, founders in the space. There was a X space for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it was awesome. It was just cool to listen to them talk back and forth, shoot the shit. A couple things Garga said. Here's one: crypto culture should be the biggest house party and makes others want to join in. I love that he said that, because not that you're not going to go try to reach out to other people, but let's make this the really dope place that people want to find their way to, right? Like, I think that's actually a way better way to attack it. I love the Wag Me Baby. We're all going to do it. He was having some drinks. I love this. This was before it started, on a space with an elite group like myself that fucked up by building in the NFT space for 3 years instead of making it all L1 that never launches. So again, shout out to Adrian. Adrian Newman 21 is the @ if you check it out, the Assembling the NFT Avengers with Ray, Zagabond, Gargaluka, and Frank. Awesome conversation. Completely dope conversation. I would highly suggest replaying that, because it was just not, I wouldn't even say, it wasn't like alpha. It was just like really good conversation with really dope humans. And when I was done listening to it, I felt even better about Yuga Labs. And it wasn't like Garga like dropped a bunch of alpha. It's just like, he's a smart dude and he speaks well. And it, like, honestly, I feel like he's really I don't know, like flexing a bit in that role. He's feeling comfortable, which is freaking dope. Very dope. So shout out to Garga. Couple more things I want to get into, and one of them is going to be a shout out to a creative in the space. And I'm gonna be doing some streaming of the Edison game. If you don't know, Board Elon First off, I don't know. Maybe you're living under a rock. That's very possible. But if you haven't followed him yet, you should. Board Elon Musk. That's his on X. He also is on Farcaster quite often. A OG Bored Ape and an Opepin Maxi is what I would say. He's got a new game, Space Race, that's now open. It's in 5 different trials. Get the fastest time. Don't throw up everywhere. I can tell you that I tried it out this evening. I was going to play a little bit live tonight. It's just like it felt like that was going to take longer than I wanted to be on tonight. But we will be streaming it this weekend. I played it. My son played it a little bit, my 4-year-old son, and he obviously struggled a bit with the keeping. We were using a mouse pad too, which I would highly suggest a mouse, not the trackpad, not mouse pad, trackpad. The trackpad on the laptop, that made it freaking hard. But what I would say is it was cool. It was really cool to jump in. You can jump in actually as your ape with the 3D files. I'm going to show you a way to do that from somebody in the space that gave a great tutorial. But here's a little bit of a look at the. Maybe I have this muted. I do. Here we go. And so, again, check it out. Shout out to Fuck Render for all the art. Amazing artist in the space. Definitely, there was something here. I don't remember where he said it. He said basically, don't worry, you're gonna have a bunch of mistakes. Agreed. I tried 2 different levels. One of them had some like fireball shits that like smash the hell out of you. But it's a time trial and you're basically floating around, flying, I should say. And you're picking up these like, or you have to go through these like lit tiles basically. And so, and then go to the next checkpoint. Fun. I sucked ass the first. I mean, I didn't even know what I was doing the first time. I'll be honest with you. Agreed, Justin. Looks absolutely banger on the design. Yeah, the environments are dope. Also, when you get in, you're not going to go right to this screen that they're showing there where you can jump into the actual game. You're going to actually be in this like it looks like kind of like just a town, and you have to pick up one Eddie, which is I guess they're going to be their currency for Edison. All I can think about is Dancing Eddie, and you can get one for free. It's right on the left side as you're walking in. There's going to be like a big open space, and you'll see 5 arcade games that are set up that you can jump into this section. It like pulls you into the arcade game. It's really cool visual there. But you can actually just get one of them. It's right on the left side. It's like a glowing green token. So if you get lost like I did for a while, that's what you should do. Yeah, you see Adam, obviously checking it out. A lot of people checking it out. If every year is an election year, that's funny. And so next up, I did want to give a massive shout out. We're going to watch a little bit of this video, not the entire thing. Is a shout out to Directive Creator with this awesome video he put together to turn your 2D monkey into a 3D metaverse avatar, which then you can take into Board Elon's game, along other things improbable.
Hey everyone, it's Directive Creator here, or at least the AI version of me, back with another exciting tutorial. Today we're going to turn your Bored Ape JPEG into a fully fledged 3D metaverse avatar. That's right, your 2D monkey is about to enter a whole other side. First things first, head over to boredapeyachtclub.com and navigate to your profile settings. Look for the GLB file. That's the one we'll be using today. Now before we dive in, you need to make sure your GLB is prepped and ready to go. We don't want your character looking all wonky in the metaverse, do we? Lucky for you,
maybe we do.
We've got a special tool that'll fix that right up. Simply drag your 3D model into the tool and it'll automatically adjust everything. To double check that it's all fixed correctly, click on the sample animation. If it looks good, hit that export button and grab your newly corrected model. Next stop, let's go to mmleditor.com. MML stands for Metaverse Markup Language.
And this is the only part that you have to do anything. The rest is like completely easy. And even this part is quite easy. You basically drop your file in and then you have to, where's it at?
Automatically add the necessary MML tags and you should see your 3D board ape appear.
You have to change model to character.
Model, which is a static 3D model. We want to change it to M character to specify that this is an avatar you'll be using. All you need to do is replace the word model with character. Easy peasy. This into static MML by clicking the blue button that says static versions on the top right. This creates a publicly accessible URL for the document in the current state. So
in case you mess it up,
let's head over to the construct.
Then you go to this is improbable where you can test out things.
Click on the event and either hit join or download if you want that extra crispy local client quality. Download would make it a little easier on you as well, since you can just copy paste the URL instead of typing it in a virtual machine. Once you're in the metaverse, hit escape to access your profile settings. This is where you'll add your avatar URL. Just paste or type in the URL you copied earlier, and boom, your Bored Ape is now living its best life in the metaverse.
So the one thing I'll say is the copy and paste function was not working for me earlier. That could have been a me problem. I mean, I could just be a complete idiot. I was also doing on a trackpad. I'm going to try with the mouse later tonight, but you can also type it in. Just, you obviously have to have like a side-by-side because the URL was not like super short. And so you can type it in or drag and drop, copy paste that into the improbable test flight, basically. So you can go run around. And I do believe it also works on Edison.WTF. By the way, again, if you're going to join the Bored Elon game, it is very simply Edison.WTF. You can easily join. It's super, super, super easy. You can do it through Google. That's what I did. You can, yeah, there's a lot of functionality there that if you did anything through Improbable before, a lot of that stuff will pop up for you too, which made it easy for me. But again, I could not get my ape in yet, but I'm going to try again tonight when I get off this little stream. So again, shout out to Bored Elon. If you haven't checked it out yet, you have basically a week, I think 6 days now, or maybe it just opened today. I don't remember. But you have about a week to mess around with it, give feedback. I know that he's looking for that as well. Feedback is always good. Positive, cons, things that went well, things that went not so well. All of that is vitally important, obviously, as they continue to build the stuff out. But again, that feels like that's metaverse right there. Jump around, do some time trials, and it's fun. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just fun. And so the last thing that I wanted to talk about this fine day, and we're not going to walk through it completely word for word, but got to give a massive shout out on this Friday fill-in to the homie, Mr. Justin, other guide. He has, once again, no surprise if you followed him at all, he does these amazing threads, videos, combo platter, gets you a lot of information for free. Did you guys read the Fairway, LOTM, Legends of Tomorrow, FAQ? And here's the TLDR. Season 3.5 rewards will consist of points, modifiers, and mist. Mist was the currency that you were using inside the Legends of the Mara to speed up things, etc. Ascension materials will be used to level up Kodamara. Mara extra points cap. And a sediment snapshot will be held for the material airdrop. More details. By the way, watch this video if you haven't. We're not going to watch it right now. Of course you should. The season 3.5 section breakdown. I got to hit this too. Get a little repost action here as we roll. 3.5 section breakdown. Fairway is introducing a new point system. That's one thing that people have been talking about quite a bit. Sediment restocks, reduced supply. That was something that people were interested in. Reduced farming rate as well. New rewards will be LOTM points, point modifiers, and mist, and a whole gamut of new features too. If you look at some of this stuff here, LOTM points, flat points, and point modifiers, Interessante, upcoming game design. This is stuff that we've kind of been waiting for a minute. Shattered fight back specifically, heavy metals joining. There's boss phases, tactical depth. This feels good. Feels like that's needed. And then some new Shattered as well. This MFer is a big-ass marshmallow. And we got the Slime Man. So again, got some new shattered. Points seem core to the faraway ecosystem. We will have to see how they're used, but extra points can be earned by playing. You got Rebirth, you got Dookie Dash, you got Serum City. Extra points are earned from games like Dookie Dash, Legends of Tomorrow, Rebirth, and Serum City. So play all of them. You got extra ones. You've got extra points can be applied directly to any code of Mara. That's interesting as well, or Mara. You've got these modifiers: common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary. With the update, also hints at ascension materials and recipes introduced into Legend of the Mara. These will be used to increase the extra points cap for the code of Maras and Maras. So again, more information there. If you haven't checked out the FAQ, you should. And of course, check out Justin's thread and video. And in order to qualify the Ascension material airdrop, you must have a Faraway account created with primary email. I don't even think I've done that yet. Added a Faraway embedded wallet to the account, and at least 0.02 or 0.5 Sol or 100 Matic or a wallet containing a coda linked. Interessante. There will be sediment snapshot 30 days after the end of season 3.5. For every X sediment a player owns, they will be airdropped one random Ascension material. Interesting as well. Yeah. If you haven't checked him out, you should. We got Mr. Other Guide on YouTube as well as X. Please check him out. The thread is freaking goated. The videos are goated. Just really good information from the top down. And so with that, it's been about 30 minutes. Oh, I actually did have one last thought. I talked about the Pacers last time. I'm an Indiana Pacers fan. I'm from the Midwest originally. Now I do live in Dallas-Fort Worth. But the Pacers are down 0-2. Got a lot of smack being talked to me by the students. Fair enough, because I talk smack to them when the Cowboys, choke like every other year. But I just want to remind everybody, we're not dead yet. We were down 0-2 to the Knicks. And how did that turn out? Game 7 at Madison Square Garden. We got a big fat dub. Do I feel like this climb is much harder and maybe improbable? No play on words there with obviously improbable. Yes, I do feel that way, but you never give up hope. You never give up hope when you got Tyrese Halliburton, when you got Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, Spicy P, Andrew Nembhard, and more. I love playoff basketball. I love it. I love sports in general. I know that some people aren't into sports, and that's fair. It's things that I'm not into, but sports to me, it's like the best, absolute best live entertainment, live TV that you can get. Find a sport that you like, sit down, and hopefully it's not scripted. I know people joke about, the playoffs being scripted. It's not. But man, talk about the best live drama you can have. Sports, that's it. Got to rock my Myrtle Beach Pelican if you know anything about baseball. I think it's a single A affiliate of the Cubs, and I am a Cubs fan. So with that, hey, don't be afraid to share your opinion. Don't be afraid to pick up a shovel. Whatever you do, do it really well. You don't have to be a founder. You don't have to create content. You don't have to have a product. You can just be a really awesome freaking community member that's able to help people feel acclimated, be in the Discord. Maybe you're a Discord dog. Maybe you're helping host a space like Welcome Apes. Shout out to that team. That really helps people, integrate into the Bored Ape and Mutant Ape ecosystem, the Yuga Labs family. Whatever you do, just freaking do it well. Pick up a shovel. There's so much to do. Let's actually move some mountains. Let's actually do some shit. Let's think outside the box. Content is key. Be kind, be positive, but don't be afraid to have an opinion. Opinions are dope because we all have them. With that, I want to say appreciate you. This was once again a Friday Fill-In.